If there's one thing I've learned over the years, is that there are no happy endings. There never are. There's always a price to pay.
It's pretty much his origin story. It's where he basically screwed up, and it's why he became what he became. Why he's insolent to himself, why he became a heavy smoker and drinker. It's because he has to live with the results all these years for what happened back in Newcastle. So that was always considered his basic origin story. I mean, before that, he had magic skills. He was born with it, and he was learning the skills to summon and open up, new voids. But he wasn't as advanced at it as when he opened this one up. He was too cocky about it, and he brought on a certain amount of hell to the world that he really shouldn't have, and he's been paying the consequences. So that's pretty much what makes the character ultimately.
He makes a choice time and again to work on the side of the light. So that says something about what's lying underneath that character, And in this story in particular, it's so much about that relationship with Chaz, who's, this one person in his life that he really trusts and loves, that he's got to go to the mat for, and he will go to the mat. There's a pun for you. And that's why I like this particular story, because in the graphic novel, it was a great graphic novel. It's called All His Engines, that we used as a template. But emotionally, it didn't go to those places that we get to go to in the story. And that was important to me and to everybody that worked on it, was to really drill deep into his character, into his heart and his soul and his mind, and open them up a little bit more and see those other layers.
Some things, you don't, if it ain't broke, kind of thing. So he's always doing, he's one of those characters where it's almost a one-to-one from what is on the comic book page, which is why I think, with Matt Ryan's portrayal in the live action stuff, I mean, they nailed it. And so I didn't feel like I needed to take any liberties or any particular creative license. A huge part of my job is taking the work of other creators, other artists, and interpreting it or updating it for a different context or a different narrative.
Well, the great thing is, I played Constantine actually in the Justice League Action series, so yes. I think it was an idea of the producers and the writers that to do a bit of cross-pollination, and it would be quite sort of funny if I came over and played his friend in this. And I'm reading the script. There's a wonderful relationship between the two of them basically. So they haven't seen each other in 20 years because of this terrible incident that happened in Newcastle, which no one talks about, But that gets revealed throughout the movie, and you can actually see where they haven't spoken to each other. But Chaz's daughter is in trouble. She's in a coma at the start of the movie. I'm not giving too much away. And he goes to John. He smells dark magic is involved, and so he goes to John and asks him for help, and that's his sort of last resort. But there's a great relationship there. It's like when you have a friend that you haven't seen in years, and you sit down and it's like you saw them just the day before. There's that instant connection again. But there's a wonderful scene when they first meet, and they're sitting in a diner or something, I think it is, and they're just speaking to each other. And because it's a 90-minute movie, we actually played it. It was like a live action sort of thing. You can sort of take your time with it and take the breaths in it, and because you're given that scope in the 90 minutes, because in the 12 minutes sort of, JLA, the Justice League, that's more of it's a lighter touch, and there's a certain pace that has to be kept up, whereas this plays out like a movie. But there's a great relationship between him and Chaz, and there's a lot of sort of badinage and back and forth, and Constantine lovingly refers to Chaz as a knobhead most of the times, which is a wonderful English term of endearment. I think you call it peckerhead over here. But it's said with love.
I did not get to see what Angela looked like before our first record, but when we came back a few months later to do ADR to fill in, a bunch of things, I did get to see her, and I was like, oh, she's very sexy. Oh my, that is quite the outfit. Because it's described in the script, and then I saw it and it was like, Yeah, all right. There's a lot of action going on there. It's a lot of fun. You don't usually get to play a sex demon when you're pregnant, but guess what? In animation, you do, and it's really freeing and it's really rewarding to walk into something going, you know what? I'm the best person for this job, and just doing it, and not feeling like they're judging you for your haircut. That's nice. Well, and the really fun thing about Angela especially is she's in canon, but in such a subtle way that I really got to be the first person to do it, and that doesn't happen very often. I'm one of several people playing Wonder Woman right now, and I'm so lucky to be in that cohort. But Angela, at this point, is kind of mine, which is cool. That doesn't happen very often. It's really fun.